Hi everyone, welcome to Gnan Cloud Garage. In this session, I'm going to talk about step-by-step guide specifically for patching and updating vCenter server from 8.0 to 8.0 update 1b. Excuse me. In our lab environment, we have a HPE Synergy frame, and within the frame, we have multiple ESXi hosts and running with vSphere 8. And to manage multiple ESX hosts, we have a vCenter server. vCenter server, we can also call it as vCsa, vCenter server appliance. Okay, and the shared storage for all the ESXi host virtual machines running on a nimble storage. Okay, that is a main components within our demo lab. Okay, now before jumping to the patching and updating step-by-step guide, first understand the some basic points. Patching and updating vCenter Server 8.0 deployment, the main key points are VMware regularly releases patches for the vCenter server. Okay, same like or how the Red Hat and Microsoft releases the patches. Similarly, VMware also releases the patches. Okay, and patches can be applied using appliance management interface. In short form, we also call it as WAMI page. So WAMI means VMware vCenter Appliance Management Interface. So we call it as in short forms WAMI page also. So in order to apply the patches, it can be applied through graphical user interface method or command line method. Command line method means vCenter server appliance shell prompt. Okay, so either you can update or patch vCenter server using graphical mode or command line based on your comfort. Okay, but in our today's test lab, I'm going to show you using the graphical user interface, that is WAMI page. Using WAMI page, I will show you how we can update the vCenter server. And the patches are made available on monthly basis. Okay, and patches can only be applied in between major releases of vCenter server. Like major release, the current major release for vCenter server is 8.0. After 8.0, they may release some patches like 8.0a, 8.0b, 8.0c. A, B, C and all represent as a patching, and update is nothing but a 8.0 U1. U1 means update 1. They may release like U1a, U1b and so on. Maybe in future VMware may release vCenter U2 also. That is nothing but a update 2. And when you compare with the previous versions, vCenter 7, and we also have a vCenter 7 update 1, update 2, update 3. That is considered as a updates. And if there is no U symbol, we call this normally we call it as a patches. Okay, that is a main differentiation between patch and update. And patches released for initial release of vCenter server are not applicable to vCenter server update 1, because updates are different and patches are different. And patches can be for core product functionality. Core product functionality means specifically for vCenter layer, and other packages like update 1, it includes vCenter server, includes vCenter server patch and also the guest OS. Like normally this vCenter application running on a VMware Photon OS. That means so update 1 consists of Photon level updates plus vCenter patches. All this package we call it as a update 1. Okay. So hope you understand some basic difference between patch and update. But for our quick understanding, let me log into lab system and I will show you one again the difference between patch and update. Suppose let's log into the demo system. Let's say if you open a VMware website, let's say connect to the VMware website. When we log into VMware product and accounts, when we go to the products, there is a two tabs: all products, product patches. All product means view a comprehensive list of all VMware product available for download. Suppose you are freshly installing the vCenter server, the recommended link to download the vCenter is, this is the option, all products. Suppose you have already existing vCenter server in our production environment or test environment, you want to do some patching or update, that time we have to use the link product patches. Okay, when you click on product patches, it will redirect it to the product patches link. So product patches is access list for patches available for all VMware products. Okay, so I just clicked it. It is redirecting to the patch URL. So within this patch URL, we can see all VMware product, but in our session, today's discussion, we need to choose the product specific product patches vCenter server. See the product patches tab and select the product. There are multiple products, Aria Automation, ESX, ESXA. These are all the VMware products we already aware. So for our interest is vCenter. So when you select the vCenter, and again there is a version drop down menu, see the vCenter products patches available from version 5.5 to 6, 6 series, 7 series, and we also have 8 series. But currently today we are planning for a 8.0 update 1. So the relevant option is this one, and click on search. When you click on search, it will show you all the available product patches. So this product patches, not only it will includes update one, that means updates as well as patches. For example, if you see here within the 8.0.1, we noticed all are the updates only, U1, U1a and U1b. Okay, suppose if I select the 8.0.0, it will shows only 8.0a, that means it is only the patch. Okay, even the download file also it says as a the specific 8.0 specific build number and patch 0 patch. Okay, so patch means patch is nothing but it is software component. It's specifically for bug fixes, product bug fixes. Okay, and now suppose if you are installing fresh installation, as we know, go to the all products, again go back here, select the all product to download the fresh installation. Suppose while planning to install vCenter server new environment, during that time you can choose the whatever the latest available version. Okay, here when you select VMware vSphere, there are multiple flavors: essential, essential plus, standard, and enterprise, enterprise plus. Normally companies may use either standard or enterprise plus, depends on your license requirement. You can choose the specific version. For example, if I choose enterprise plus vCenter server, just go to the downloads. When you go to the downloads, here you can see the option, see 8.0 ABC patches available, again updates available. But this one, if you see here, the size for this vCenter server appliance size, including the update one patch, this total size is equivalent to 9.62 GB. It's around 10 GB. Okay, this is the full ISO file. But this 10 GB ISO file only required if you are planning to install a fresh vCenter server. Okay. Now, if you already have existing vCenter, we no need to download this 10 GB file. We have to download only the patch. So that patch we can select VC and choose 8.0.1 and search. You can see the same kind of file like vCenter server update 1 UB U1b. That means update 1b. This update 1b U1b 8.0, here the size is approximately 7 GB, close to 9 GB. 7.9 means it's close to 9 GB. It is showing as MB 7965.6 MB. It's equivalent to 8 GB. That means 2 GB size is lesser in our patch. Okay, so this one we can download. So with interest of our time, I already keep ready with the vCenter download. Okay, so now we have an idea what is the main difference in patch and updating. Okay, for fresh installation, you can download the full ISO from the product section, and for update and patching, you can go to the product patches URL and download the specific latest patch. Okay, so now let's talk about step-by-step guide patching and updating vCenter server from 8.0 to 8.0 update 1b. Okay, normally when any of the product patches or any implementation activities, normally we divide it into three steps. The first step is pre-implementation steps. Pre-implementation means before updating vCenter server from 8.0 to 8.0 update 1b, what is our main pre-steps? Okay, and once the pre-implementation steps are ready, we are good to go with the implementation. Once implementation is completed, we can go with the post implementation. Okay, that means before implementation and after implementation. Post means after implementation. Okay, so now let's talk about the pre-implementation steps first. So pre-implementation steps, we can download the patch ISO images from VMware patch URL. Just now we verified how we can download the latest patch. We already downloaded the latest patch. This step is completed, and log into the vCenter server as root. So when we plan to do this step, vCenter server, we require a root credentials. Okay, so we already collected the root credentials. Okay, so we are good with the root credentials, and verify that vCenter server is successfully deployed and running. So we need to validate the vCenter server is successfully running or not. Let me log into our vCenter server. Let's say IP address is ends with 45. So when I click on launch, see vCenter page is loading. Normal vCenter administrator page ID is administrator@vsphere.local. So let me log into vCenter server first. Make sure that vCenter server is up and running. See, currently vCenter server is up and running state. When you go to the shortcuts, host and clusters, currently we have a one cluster. Within a vCenter, we have data center one cluster. Within cluster, we have 3 SX, one host is in maintenance. It's okay. But currently there are multiple virtual machines are running. Okay. So when you go to the summary, we can see virtual machines count also here. Select the data center summary, we can see around 30 virtual machines are running on this vCenter. Okay, and vCenter version, if you go to the top level hierarchy, we can see the vCenter server version. The version is 8.0.1, but it's not like a 8.0.update 1b. Okay, it clearly says updates available. Okay, and build number also it's showing as 0 ends with 0480. Suppose if you see the latest patch, read more, we can see the build number is ends with 0503 and also 21860503. Here build number is lower build number. Okay, once we update, this build number also updated to the latest build number 21860503. Okay, even if you observe in the update and product, both build numbers are same. You can see here same build number 21860503. Okay, but today end of the session we can see the build number will update it to the latest one. Okay, now back to the slide. See this pre-implementation steps, we are ready. We already downloaded ISO, we have the root credentials, and we log into vCenter and verified vCenter's health status is up and running. But why we are verifying this third step is because normally what VMware recommendation is, when we are planning to do vCenter patch or vCenter update, make sure vCenter do not have any of the abnormality in the vCenter services. If the vCenter have some connectivity issues or abnormality at the vCenter layer, make sure that first fix the existing issues first, then only we are good to proceed with the patch and updates. Okay, now let's talk about the implementation steps. So within the implementation steps, log into the WAMI page. WAMI means vCenter Appliance Management Interface. This appliance URL is HTTPS, our appliance IP address, or vCenter FQDN. FQDN means fully qualified domain name. Either you can enter the vCenter fully qualified domain name or vCenter IP address colon 5480 port number. So let's log into lab system. Let's open another tab for our WAMI page. So WAMI page, I am taking the vCenter IP colon 5480. Now enter. But this vCenter WAMI page, vCenter management, we should log in with a root credentials. So in our pre-implementation steps, we are already ready with the root credentials. So the same credentials I entered here. When we log into vCenter's WAMI page, the first page is showing a summary. In our summary, vCenter health status is good. Okay, and the version also we can see here, and it is showing us 21560480. But the end of the after update, we can see the latest version 218. Okay, so this step is clear. Now back to the slide, and another point is how we can update is go to the click update within the WAMI page, go to the update section. So if you see within the WAMI page, summary, monitor, access, you can look for a update option. This is the update option. So click on update. In the right side, you can see current version available and available update options. See, currently it started loading. The last text is July 1st. So let it load. It is trying to check the vCenter server layer and is there any available updates or not. Okay, we are exactly verifying the same option. Click update, check updates and select a source. Okay, so that portion we are going to do now. See, when I see here, select update, available updates, it's automatically detect the latest patch. See, you can see here 8.0 and it is showing a 7.6 GB. Okay, that is a downloaded size and we can run the pre-update checks. Okay, so even within our implementation steps, the recommended step is run pre-update checks. So run pre-update checks means we have to click here. Okay, so click on run pre-update checks first. So it may take a while. See, it is says that pre-update checks are passed and estimated downtime is 27 minutes. Okay, now we are good to select the source. So when we want to select the source, just go to the check updates. Either you can mount the ISO from CD DVD ROM or you can choose URL. That means if you have any internal centralized repository URL, you can map either as an internal URL or you can map to the ISO. Okay, suppose if I click on CD-ROM, I'm trying to map with a ISO file. When I click on settings, I'm just checking the settings options as well. Updates, check for the updates automatically. So currently we already checked manually. So URL is downloading from the vCenter server level certificate. Okay, this default setting options. Okay, cancel. And it is asking to choose the again CD DVD ROM. Okay, I'm looking for how we can mount the ISO. This is the only the option. Either we can check here one more time trying to check the updates. So click on check updates. Okay, it is trying to check. And in the production, yeah, we can see that the updates are available. And again, we can run the pre-update checks. And in the production environment, normally in the pre-implementation steps, it's recommended to do place the vCenter server in maintenance mode. If you have any monitoring tools like VROps, vRealize Operations Manager, or Aria Operations, or if you have any SolarWinds or any third-party monitoring tools like Nagios or CA ArcServe, any monitoring tool if you are using in your environment, within the monitoring tool, place the vCenter server in maintenance mode because to avoid the vCenter down alerts. That is one important point. And another one, this upgrade must require a downtime after applying the patch and update. So we have to perform only in the non-business hours. Okay, these steps I haven't included in the slide because these points may vary from one organization to another organization. So based on your organization procedures, you can follow for the vCenter patching and update. Okay, see now the pre-upgrade check we run one more time. It's showing past and estimated downtime 27 minutes and priority low, services affected 43 services, download size is 7.6. See, if you see here, we have a two options, stage only, stage and install. Okay, now I'm going to click on stage and install. Okay, end user license agreement. So select end user license agreement, click on next. Okay, see, join the VMware Customer Experience Improvement Program. It's your choice. Either you can choose you join or unjoin. Okay, so now click on next and back up the server. So this is also one of the recommended step. So if you want to take the vCenter backup, either you can use the internal your organization backup tool to take the backup of vCenter server. That is one method. And another method is within vCenter level also, you can take the offline clone. Instead of a snapshot is not recommended for vCenter. You should power off the vCenter server and log into the vSXI host, or if you have any other vCenter from the other vCenter, create a offline copy of this vCenter server. That is called offline clone. Either you can choose vCenter offline clone, or you can take the backup using your internal backup tools like Veeam, Commvault, Cohesity, Rubrik, whatever backup tool, Veritas Net Backup, whatever the tools you are using, the specific backup tool you can use to take the backup of vCenter server. Okay, and estimated downtime same like earlier message, 27 minutes. Okay, it is recommended that you back up your vCenter server before installing any update or patch. Okay, so we already tick this option, we have the backup. Okay, now click on finish. So when you click on finish, it will start install and update. Okay, it may take around 27 minutes time. So we'll monitor for some time and then we'll back to the slide and we'll verify. Okay, but we got an idea how what is the procedure using WAMI page. It's saying staging in progress. You have reached maximum number of retries. Resume the patching. Please restore vCenter from the backup. There is a error message because we tried searching the check updates multiple times. That's why it's showing the error message. Okay, it's fine. We can just close this one and we'll retry. Let me close the page and we'll retry. Okay, to avoid this kind of error messages, we can just log into the SSH session. We'll do a quick reboot of vCenter server 192.168.243.45. I'm, I'm connecting to the vCenter SSH session. Log in with the root. Okay, when we log into vCenter server, we have to type the command shell. Okay, so now we can go to reboot. Just to ignore, avoid or fix that error message because it's not allowing to load the WAMI page. That is the reason we are just doing reboot. So now just close the WAMI page. And logging to the ESXi host. I'm checking the vCenter VM console. Okay, here vCenter is running. We'll launch the console. Okay, seems a reboot faster, but even though if the vCenter restart is completed, to bring up the services may take time. So we'll check the service status. see no healthy upstream. So we have to wait for a while to bring up the vCenter. So once the services are bring up, we have to use the again same option, whammy page, update, and try to do the install. Okay, let me explain in the meantime the further steps. See, once the pre-update checks are completed, we have to use the install. Once the installation is finishes, we have to reboot the vCenter server. Okay, that is the implementation steps. And post implementation steps, we have to verify the vCenter server health status and also the validate the vCenter changed update status. That means the build version may update with a latest version. So that version we have to validate. Okay. So reboot services. Yeah. Now the services is still rebooting. Services are going to up. It will also take a while. Okay. So with interest of our time, I will stop the session here. But I hope you got an idea how we can do the patch and update using the whammy page. Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you. If you're watching this video first time, please do view, like, share, and subscribe to the Gnan Cloud Garage channel. If you're already subscribed, I appreciate all your support. Bye for now.